I'm Terique Shelton, a student at Full Sail University. I'm in the film degree program, and I'll be getting my Bachelor of Science in Film in the next couple years. Yeah. Alright. Visual arts is becoming such an important aspect of so many genres. Um, Action, crime, sci-fi, even drama. I mean, just any aspect you can imagine, visual arts is actually a part of that. And it's actually driving many parts of the movie. A lot of people, a couple decades ago would actually go and see certain performances from certain actors or from certain directors, but now what's known nowadays is actually certain themes and ideas, and as in Transformers, how people will expect to see, robots transforming, as the name, implies, but also that it entails a lot of visual effects and a lot of special effects that will actually mesmerize in all the audience. And so, in a way, visual arts is taking the lead in the industry in basically every form, in film, in television, on YouTube, Vimeo, any type of outlet you can see. You actually see how, even everyday people, aspiring indie artists from, big budget directors are actually using this as motivation and as an incentive to actually attract their audience. And so as visual arts progresses and it continues onward, you'll see it become a central key part of, the entire industry. With the advancements in technology, and it's played such an important role, as in it's created an explosive release of new content, and how everyday people are actually able to create their own material, create their own videos, and create original content that everyone can enjoy. And that's actually led to, such sites as YouTube or Vimeo, and how deep down everyone wants to be creative, everyone wants to share, everyone wants to be a creator and do their own thing, express themselves and show their creativity. And that's a desire that we all have. And with advancement in technology on cell phones and computers and cameras, that it's become such a widespread thing that it's actually created a subgenre, and how memes and live action videos and so many other things has become so popular and so evident and so rampant that now people are able to pursue their dreams, and how a lot of people want to be photographers, a lot of people want to be filmmakers, and now they have the option without having to, go get flatbed cameras or any type of, like IMAX, film, film, um, film cameras. And so it's become so much easier to actually practice and become better. And so what I think is that within the next few years you'll see a wave of talented filmmakers that are actually able to wow the audience in new ways than before. And so if you look at nowadays and how the filmmakers that are known, like Tim Burton or Christopher Nolan and many other people, have actually grown up in an era where they didn't have such technologies available. And if you look nowadays at people my age, say, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years older or younger, they're actually able to create, very interesting, very unique, very high quality content that hasn't been seen in decades, that hasn't been able to be produced in so many years. And so you'll have a wave of new talented individuals to actually carry on the industry and bring it on to the next step. Very interesting how that since this technology is readily available, how it's expanded the amount of material available for everyone to view and everyone to enjoy, but also in a way that it has hindered us in a way is how people try to replicate things that other people have done instead of trying to do something new for themselves. And one thing you'll see is that people often use a lot of stock footage, or they'll go to tutorial websites and copy certain certain visual effects that other people have done because they like it. And so what I feel is that because this is available to us, is that we should use it to express ourselves instead of copying what we see nowadays. Because a lot of times you'll see material be recycled or regurgitated in different, whether it be TV shows or videos on YouTube or in movies. Just like how you'll see the same stock footage being used throughout the entire industry. Like if you happen to see The Dark Knight Rises, you'll see in the plane shots how there's actually a certain background, a certain stock footage background that's been used in many videos and shows. It's been used in Saving Private Ryan. I've seen it on tutorial websites like Video Copilot. I remember seeing it in X-Men movies, and then these kinds of things you'll see used over and over again, and in a way I feel that's lazy. That we should be going out and making new content instead of reusing old content. And for certain purposes, using old material is okay, but as people that pride ourselves on creativity, I feel that, hitchhiking on the backs of others to a certain extent is wrong. So, answer to question number 4 is popular images that that have been popularized. Um, a lot of genres actually go back to the roots, and you're using a lot of the content that was actually a lot of ideals and a lot of camera movements and a lot of themes that were used when the genre first came out, especially like the horror genre, and how videos like Nosferatu and many others have actually created if you say, a background or a blueprint in how a movie of that genre is supposed to go. And so if you go back to action movies and how they first came out, you'll know that there's a hero, and that the first part is when the hero gets introduced to the audience. Everyone starts to adjust themselves and learn who they are. Then there's a crisis. The hero reaches their lowest point, and then they save the day. That's how it goes. And it goes like this because all of us have an ideal that we share and how something should be. And in movies, we actually get to see that ideal played out in real life, and it's satisfying to us. And so we follow a certain print, and I think these popularized images actually symbolize what we expect from our lives and what we want from our lives. And so, regardless of the genre you pick, you'll see certain things like in the crime genre, you'll see how some type of madman, some genius is actually able to thwart the police, and you'll see how another mastermind will be able to see through their deception and be able to overcome adversity and defeat the sickening minds of the evil. My favorite style of visual arts has to be the science fiction style, and how as an aspiring visual effects artist, how they've actually taken things that aren't actually there and be able to use them and make them look like they actually belong in the world we live in. And how they can actually take completely fabricated CGI images and place them within real world environments and actually have people interact with them. That's just amazing to me. And then so that's one thing that actually inspired me to become a visual effects artist, and how I see these things being made and how complete fabrications of one's mind being able to interact with all of us. That's just something that's mind blowing to me, and it pushes me to go forward and better myself. My favorite visual effects artist, I would have to say, would be William Hoy. He's made many very interesting films that I enjoy to such an extent, like Watchmen, 300, and many others. And so he's actually a film editor, and even though he isn't a visual effects artist per se, though I'm aspiring to be a visual effects artist, he's an editor, and the way how I see editors are, they're artists with just a different brush and a different canvas, and how he takes footage instead of manipulating it, and he transforms it into a seamless, flowing piece. And so if that isn't art, I don't know what is. And originally I wanted to be an editor because I love telling a story. And so storytelling is actually an art that I admire and I respect to such an extent. My favorite moment would have to be in 300 when Leonidas was there. He's taking on all the Persians, and then they give this whole challenge to them how their arrows be able to blot out the sun. He says, hey, then we'll fight in the shade. And then when he does that, I was like, well, okay, all right, Leonidas, since you're so bad and tough and everything, how about you take on the Persians? So they fire arrows, covers the entire place. I mean, it's like being under a giant cloud because you can't even see the sun. I mean, it's like nighttime right now. I'm surprised they could even see each other. Arrows are raining down, and then his shield gets riddled with just arrow tips. Afterwards, he brings down the shield and just breaks off the arrows with the blade of his sword. Like, come on. Like, if that isn't an epic hero, then I don't know who is. A lot of surrealism artwork has actually inspired me because being able to see how people's minds have actually led them to draw and design things they've done is really interesting to me. Like, I love being able to actually do photo manipulation, like say turning someone's arm into an orange peel or doing so many different things. From the moment I got Photoshop, I was into it. I loved, photo editing and photography itself from the day I tried doing it and started doing it. Also, and is that I love being able to actually turn things that I see and things that are available to me and transform them into things that I imagine. And then being able to do that, having the ability to actually create and manipulate things and actually show others the vision that you have inside your mind is a gift that I want to share with the world.